Friday, September 6th, 2024. Happy birthday to Pippa Middleton. The younger sister of Duchess Kate Middleton turns 41 today. A few Fun 107 hitmakers have birthdays today. Foxy Brown, she's 46. And Ceci Peniston is 54. And Miss Macy Gray, she turns 57 today. In 1620, the Pilgrims left on the Mayflower from Plymouth, England to settle in the New World. The first Barbie doll was sold by Mattel Toy Corporation 65 years ago today. And 27 years ago, Britain said goodbye to Princess Diana with a funeral service at Westminster Abbey. Elton John performed his rewritten version of Candle in the Wind at the funeral, the first and only time he ever sang that version in public. More than 2 billion people watched the funeral on TV around the world. Meanwhile, in India, people were gathering to pay homage to Mother Teresa, who had died the day before at the age of 87.
We got some clouds out there this morning. As the day goes on, we're going to get sunnier. So this afternoon should be mostly sunny, says Ceci Del Carmen. Going to get up near 80 for a high. It is 62 now.
Bringing your taste of Hollywood right here to the South Coast. And we are here for it. We're spilling the tea with Maddie's Entertainment Update on the Michael and Maddie Show.
Karen Reed, the name heard around the nation, she gave an exclusive interview to ABC's 2020 about what's going down. And she described finding her boyfriend dead in a blizzard, doubling down on her allegations of a cover-up, and it's all being shown tonight, 9 p.m. on Channel 5.
Did you kill John O'Keefe? Is it possible that you had hit him with the back of your car and just didn't realize it?
The trial of Karen Reed is now underway.
She's accused of second-degree murder, pleading not guilty.
A murder that continues to tear apart an entire town.
It's the true crime story of the summer.
This is a beloved police officer in the local community.
His body discovered in a pile of snow.
I remember pounding on my dresser, like literally screaming, like, not John, over and over.
Did you say that you were angry with John that night?
Yes.
The exclusive interview was recorded before her first trial, but never before fully published. She spoke to 2020's Matt Gutman about discovering O'Keefe's body in a snowbank the next morning. Other witnesses testified about the moment during the trial, but in this interview, she describes the moment in her own words, and she goes into detail about everything that went down. Testimony in the first trial revealed that O'Keefe was on the ground with 2 black eyes and several other injuries. He was also dressed in a long-sleeve T-shirt, not clothing that would be appropriate for blizzard conditions. It looks like this is going to be on tonight. I mean, this is going to be like a telltale sit-down. I mean, this is from the horse's mouth, if you will.
Right.
This is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this has everybody, perplexed about what really went on that night. And, so seeing this will be, like you said, it's interesting, and it's one of those things where you read body language and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that there's specials coming out about it. And if the case stays on schedule, that retrial is planned to begin January 27th. The civil lawsuit is not likely to play out before that trial. So, as we know, it was a mistrial. They got to do another one. If it's a mistrial, how is another one going to change anything?
Well, I don't know.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. But this will eventually be a Netflix movie.
Most likely. Ticketmaster already facing scrutiny in the U.S., now under investigation in the U.K. over some concert ticket prices. No maybes about it. Ticketmaster now under investigation thanks to the recent sales of tickets for Oasis. Fans were hit with dynamic pricing when they tried to buy tickets, meaning when demand went up, prices went up. Some paid more than double what they were expecting. The UK's Competition and Markets Authority says it's now investigating Ticketmaster's parent company, Live Nation, over the practice. This follows action by the Justice Department in the U.S., which in May sued Live Nation and Ticketmaster, alleging monopolistic practices. Is anybody shocked here?
No, not really. But, this is the closest it's going to get to being compared to Taylor Swift because they were saying that it was going to dwarf sales, and it's not going to dwarf sales, but this is very similar, like right down to a T of what happened to Taylor Swift.
I also think that nothing's going to come of this. It's going to be just
Really?
discussed again. And yeah, this is the worst again. And then nothing's going to happen.
But isn't that the definition of monopolizing something? Like you're the only ticket holder and now you're raising prices just because you can?
They're cornering the market for sure. That's for sure.
Like,
yeah, no, it's totally.
There's
it's
a
true.
case there.
There is.
You know?
There is.
So you just don't think.
It's just I've been hearing about it for so long. I'm like, let's just see something. Like,
yeah,
do
like
something.
somebody do something about
Yeah.
it. Did the U.S. ever put Ticketmaster under investigation, though? Did they ever go that far? I know they sued them, but did it ever go anywhere?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so maybe the UK will have a little more gumption about it and actually take it somewhere.
Yeah.
If you're running for the president this year, hear me out. If you're running for the president this year,
not important.
Like TikTok is. But when
TikTok is
national security.
All right, that's fine. But like, think about how many people jumped on the Trump train because he was actually the opposite. Sorry, because he wanted to get rid of it. But like, people were so consumed about TikTok. People are consumed about Ticketmaster. If you're running for president and you say, I'm going to make Ticketmaster fair again.
You know what? He's
that's
probably
all I'm
right,
saying.
which is sad.
People will go nuts and they might get swayed to vote for that person. All I'm saying.
I'm pledging more affordable Taylor Swift tickets.
I can't. What character do you think of when I say the name Michael Keaton?
Well, the Beetlejuice music is playing, so you got me there. But yeah, Beetlejuice.
See, I say Batman.
Mr. Mom, Batman. He was the worst Batman.
I didn't like him at Batman.
He wasn't that bad. Well, did you know that Michael Keaton is not his actual name?
I did not know that.
So in his almost 50-year career, he has been called everything from Mr. Mom to Batman to Beetlejuice, but now he doesn't really want to be called Michael Keaton anymore. His real name is Michael Douglas.
Oh, I did hear about this. You can't be Michael Douglas in Hollywood.
He couldn't do that when he started acting because of the Screen Actors Guild credit rules. There's already a Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
So we picked the name Keaton at random, just totally random. Just came up with it. He's like, you know what? Fine, Michael Keaton. But now he's saying that he wants to change his name professionally to Michael Keaton Douglas. And he meant to for his directorial debut last year, but he forgot, he said. Why? I think he just wants his real name back.
But why?
I know at this point why.
It's kind of...
You've been an actor for 50 years.
How is this going to help you?
Yeah. I don't think it's like about helping or hurting. I think it's like a personal thing maybe. Or like not a moral thing, but like an intimate personal thing. Like my name is Michael Douglas and I need people to know that.
Is he trying to stay relevant? I mean, Beetlejuice is doing a good enough job.
No, I think this is him just like, this is a personal thing. I mean, he's getting interviewed left and right now.
You want to make sure everyone has all your correct information. Why? So they can, steal your identity? What? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think, imagine if somebody else was put under as Michael Rock before you. I bet you'd want Michael Rock back.
But do you know how many people in radio don't have their real names? Like Gazelle.
That's my real name. I'm sticking to it.
I get that, but it's like your name, like, imagine if you had to be like Michael Smith because somebody in the SAG-AFTRA already took Michael Rock. I can see you being a little perturbed.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I made it 50 years in, I'd probably just cross the finish line and call it a day. More entertainment news up on the Fun 107 app. Fun 107, Michael and Maddie, Taylor Swift. I don't know if you heard or not, Maddie, but she was at the game last night.
Wow.
Was she on the sidelines or in the booth?
She was in the box.
Wow.
Yeah, no, apparently she's dating Travis Kelce.
What?
Who's that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the Chiefs won. So she's like their good luck charm.
Did they really win?
They did really win. What, the toe?
A toe's a toe, Michael.
Yeah.
Some guy on the Ravens?
Yes, likely is his name.
Was his toe on the line or was it a Chiefs guy?
I was watching the game.
You were watching?
No, I wasn't.
Somebody's toe was on the line and they said that he was in or he was out.
He was out and he was out.
Oh, so all right, never mind.
Yeah.
I retract my statement. That's fine. Then it's a fair game.
It's a fair game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that there was some funny business going on, and then Taylor,
I love how he didn't even watch the game, and he was
I
like,
definitely did.
I don't know.
I see all the memes of a toe, and it's like, oh, nope, that's it. That's out. But I guarantee you, Taylor got on the phone and was like, yeah, tell the refs I will deposit $50,000 into their account if you let the Chiefs win today. That's going to be the next controversy. Watch. No more Deflategate. Now it's on.
You heard it here
Taylor.
first, everybody.
I'm assuming you guys talked about the contract yesterday,
Oh,
right?
yes.
We did.
Yeah.
It's bogus.
Wild.
Fake news.
I think it's real.
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding.
I was telling Michael that I think it's going to bring them together even more.
I think they laugh at that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even think it phases them. I don't know.
So you watched the
Hot
game,
take.
Michael?
The Swifties are going to come after me for this. Hot take. Didn't like her outfit last night.
Why?
Whoa.
Didn't really like it.
Well,
Wasn't
she
into
look
it.
good.
Wasn't very Chiefs-ish.
What, no red or whatever?
No red.
A lot of denim.
A lot of denim. Denim Dan, if you will.
Denim Dan.
Wasn't really into it.
So, how was your sick day yesterday?
It was rough, man.
Did you watch any Prices Right?
You know what's funny? I thought about it. Like I didn't have any ginger ale, and when I woke up, it reminded me of days when I was younger. Like that's the kind of sick I felt yesterday, where I was like, damn, like I really wish I lived with my mom still. Like I wish I lived at my mom's house. I wish she was feeding me chicken and stars.
Mom, the meatloaf.
I wish she was handing me ginger ale and putting on. See, in my house, it would have been either that or my mom's terrible soap operas.
Oh, man, those are the worst.
Oh, my God.
They weren't that bad.
Gazelle.
Time of Our Lives. Or
Terrible.
General Hospital.
Just so cringy.
But you get sucked into it, do you not?
No, I did not.
Oh,
it was torture. But yeah, it was a rough sauce yesterday.
Fever dreams?
I probably... So, now, shame on me, but I didn't get a thermometer until like way later in the day. I had some cold sweats going on. Couldn't really keep some food down. And then I probably slept from the night before into the next day. I probably slept about 15 hours.
Oof.
18 hours.
Wow.
I slept a lot yesterday. I was so down and out. And I got nervous because everyone has COVID.
It's true.
Everyone. I'm like, oh God, please tell me I do not have COVID right now. I don't. Thank God. But I still panicked a little bit. I'm like, oh my goodness.
No, there's definitely a COVID spike happening right now.
I'm kind of convinced I ate something bad because I was throwing up and then I just wasn't. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
It was like a very like, I threw up a couple times. I'm like looking at things in my fridge. I'm like looking at expiration dates and stuff. I'm like, did I eat some bad butter? Did I, did my creamer go bad? And I couldn't really pinpoint anything, but I'm kind of convinced I ate something outdated.
Do you have anxiety?
Don't we all?
What? Are you WebMD
Hang on.
over there?
Do you
He's
have low
WebMD.
blood sugar? Did you have low blood sugar yesterday?
I have no idea. I don't think so.
Sepsis?
Sepsis, that's questionable.
And any infections anywhere in your body?
No.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm just happy you're sitting way over there. But she's
know.
not sitting in a regular seat. She's sitting in a far
honestly,
away.
I'm very surprised you didn't pull out the plexiglass.
You said it.
I'm very
This is a big
surprised.
This is
Michael.
growth from me, right?
It is. I very much expected the 2020 plexiglass.
I hate the plexiglass.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
I felt like you were talking to a prison inmate every time.
Well, it became terrible because you would have like the tiniest sniffle, and then here comes Michael, all bashful with just.
It's like
yeah,
the
we're gonna put
plexiglass
this
of
on.
shame.
It really is.
Mr.
It really
Plexiglass
is.
over
I'm
there.
here to tell you, I feel much better.
Good.
Still a little tired, little like meh, but we're doing good.
Well, we're happy to have you back. Fun
Are
107,
you?
but mostly sunny by this afternoon.
All right, I just sent both of you guys a text. Open up your phones. Tell me what you see. What do you see?
I see a man laid out on the ground in flip-flops.
What else do you see? Describe the photo.
Looks
You're
like
working on that dishwasher, my friend.
No. He's not working on it. He fixed it.
I fixed my dishwasher. I'm so pumped, guys.
I love it.
I saved myself hundreds of dollars.
Good for you. That's
By
really
switching
impressive.
to Geico?
I
That's
was
awesome.
stoked. Do you remember off the air, I said, I wonder if it's just unplugged or there's a broken fuse?
Yes.
All right. So I'm pulling this thing out, and you can't just pull out a dishwasher because it's got hoses everywhere that kind of like, get fed through to the sink. You got to shut the water off, shut the power off. And I'm not even, I didn't Google anything. I didn't YouTube anything. I just went for the gusto. and I took this thing out meticulously, and I made sure everything was fine. I put the screws where I knew they would go back together.
Now I got a question.
Yeah.
Was your wife supportive of this?
She went and shut off the electricity downstairs,
But
put her
she
on
wasn't
speakerphone.
nervous? Like, or would she like, you
No.
can do it, honey.
Are you
got
kidding
this.
me? She could save money and not have to call somebody?
Yeah, she's all about that.
But sometimes you go to save money and you end up costing yourself more money because you do it so wrong, you break other things.
That's
You're
fair.
right. You're right. But you know who I didn't have to call? My father-in-law. Just saying. It was a great feeling. It was
Yeah.
so good. I texted my dad. I texted him. I was like, look what I did.
Yeah, it is a good feeling.
Because if...
This is how I felt the other day when I changed the light bulb. I'm not even kidding. I changed it. I was like, yes.
Some light bulbs aren't easy to change.
No, it was one of those tiny ones. I couldn't find the right size. Finally found it. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Especially with the car ones. But this was a big moment because this now gave me a little bit of charisma to add to my resume.
He's
you
got
know
the
what?
Riz
I
now.
got. Oh, I'm all.
Oh,
rizzed
here
up.
we go.
I'm all rizzed up. You have no idea. The satisfaction of, all right, if I did this correctly, the green light will go on, and I hit the button. The green light went on. I ran a test. It's fine. Now this morning, got up early, loaded that dishwasher, put in that dish detergent, and I hit start.
See?
And it worked. I am so happy.
What did I say, Maddie? He's got the drip now?
The Riz.
Something about drip, though. There's also a drip thing.
There was a drip at first, but I fixed that.
Way to go, man. That's
Thank
great.
you.
I'll know who to call next time. 6:54, 90-second news update. Phil Devitt.
Due to the threat of Eastern equine encephalitis and West Nile virus, Middleborough High School's traditional Friday night football games will be played earlier. The school department decided to reschedule all outdoor after-school activities. Students are now required to be off fields at least 30 minutes before sunset as a precaution. Similar rescheduling has been implemented in Carver and Plymouth. This as a third human case of Triple E this year has been confirmed in Massachusetts, a man in his 70s in Middlesex County. Acushnet Police Chief Christopher Richmond retires today. He notified the town back in May. This wraps a 30-year career in town law enforcement for Richmond. He says he'll miss working with his friends in the department. The town has appointed Sergeant Thomas Carreau, the interim police chief, effective on Saturday. And next up will be the search for a permanent replacement. The State Department of Transportation is receiving an extra $171 million from the federal government. The money comes through an annual redistribution process where allocated federal funds not able to be used are redirected back to those states. Massachusetts will use the money to advance a dozen infrastructure projects around the Commonwealth. Over the last 5 years, Massachusetts has received an average of $94 million through the redistribution process. The father of the suspect in Wednesday's Georgia school shooting says he bought the gun as a gift for his son. Colin Gray was arrested and hit with multiple charges, including second-degree murder and manslaughter, after his 14-year-old son shot and killed 4 people and injured 9 others at Appalachia High School. And there is a warning that the trendy carnivore diet could be harmful to your health. It involves only eating meat, eggs, and dairy while eliminating fruits, vegetables, and carbohydrates. Dr. Rupi Ajula, a London physician and nutrition expert, says he's concerned that the carnivore diet, or any meat-heavy diet, could lead to heart disease and even dementia. In sports, the Red Sox hoping to snap their 5-game losing streak entering tonight's series opener with the Chicago White Sox. First pitch from Fenway at 7:10. And the New England Patriots open the regular season on Sunday when they visit the Cincinnati Bengals. That game at 1. Traffic and weather next. From the Blue Point Restaurant Newsroom, I'm Phil Devitt for Fun
107, Michael and Maddie. And as promised, we told you as soon as we got official confirmation of when the Fairhaven Mirasol's Cafe is going to be opening, we would bring that to you So stop the show. And here is the official announcement. Maddie, you want to do the honors?
I guess I can do that. The Fairhaven Mirasols is opening on Wednesday, September 11th.
So that's Wednesday.
5 days away, baby.
So this is a game changer to the coffee landscape in Fairhaven.
Absolutely. I feel like this is the past few years, it's been the overtaking. The Mirasols overtaking, you know? It's like they had their Dartmouth location, then they scooted over to New Bedford, now they're coming to Fairhaven. It's pretty cool.
There's going to be coffee wars, though, because Starbucks is opening up on the corner.
Then you got Honeydew next door to them. There's a Honeydew right next door to them.
Sure.
And then you got Dunkin' up the street. So you got, the Nook's right around the corner. You got 5 coffee stops right in the same area.
Where Mirasol's benefits, though, they have a cult-like following.
They do.
Starbucks too, though. No,
not like Mirasol's.
Not like Starbucks. It's so national. You get Starbucks anywhere. Personally, I'm very excited that both Starbucks and Mirasol's will be there because I'll get to pick and choose.
Yeah, you got choice.
But Mirasol's, it's like the local, the local vibe.
I don't think they realize what's coming to them. There's a storm brewing on next Wednesday.
And you know what the best part about this location is? Drive-through.
Oh.
They have a drive-through. They've never had a drive-through before.
Really? Wow. Yeah, I guess you're right. Never really thought of that.
Yeah.
They got that weird walk-up window, right?
They have a walk-up window.
I don't like that. Nothing against them. Nothing against them.
Yeah, it's
but
like a grab-and-go window.
Yeah. If I'm going to get out of my car, I'll go inside.
Yeah.
No?
Well, I kind of get it. You don't have to wait in line.
People utilize it, though.
I
always see people at that Dartmouth window.
And then the New Bedford one's too small for a drive-through, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's seasonal, and so this one's has all the bells and whistles. It's great.
You're going to be covering that, right?
I'll be there Wednesday. I'll be there at 10 a.m. for the ribbon cutting. I'll be doing some videos, so if you want a little cameo, let me know.
And you'll be hopped up on caffeine.
Yeah,
I will be drinking all of the caffeine.
It is 7:52. Phil Devitt and this morning's headlines.
New Bedford police have made a dent into drug-related crime in the County Street Bar District. Over 2 days of surveillance, officers arrested 15 people on various charges in the South End, including drug possession and distribution. Many of those arrested are repeat offenders, highlighting the ongoing challenges in addressing the city's drug problem. 55 arrests have been made on County Street since the year started. Middleborough High School's football season kicking off under the sun this year. Due to concerns over mosquito-borne illnesses such as Triple E and West Nile virus, the district decided to move last night's game to an earlier time. Officials say it's about safety for everyone involved. The game against Apponequet Regional High School drew a large crowd Thursday despite the unusual start time, and Middleborough won 14-7. It's the last day at work for Acushnet Police Chief Christopher Richmond. He's retiring after nearly 30 years with his hometown department. Sergeant Thomas Carreau will manage the department as the town seeks a permanent chief. Fall River residents, be on alert for imposters. Mayor Paul Coogan warns of scammers posing as him on social media, asking for money. These are fake. Never send money to someone you don't know, even online figures. And report suspicious messages and learn more at ftc.gov/imposters. Hunter Biden pled guilty in his federal tax trial in a Los Angeles courtroom. After a day of surprises and legal wrangling, the president's son pled guilty to all counts just as a jury was about to be selected. The president's son is accused of failing to pay more than $1 million in federal taxes over several years. He could face up to 17 years in prison, along with a big fine. And Lady Gaga's 7th album is on the way. According to a new Vogue cover feature, the Untitled Project is scheduled to be released in February, and the first single will be out next month. Gaga has spent most of the year working on the pop record, and she says she explored her pain, which led to it bringing out another side of her artistry. She also said she has a second project in the making, but its details weren't revealed. In sports, the Red Sox hoping to come back from their losing streak tonight when they play the Chicago White Sox at Fenway Park. First pitch at 7:10. And the New England Patriots gearing up for their season opener on Sunday. They visit the Cincinnati Bengals. That game starts at 1. Traffic and weather next. From the Blue Point Restaurant Newsroom, I'm Phil Devitt for Fun 101.
Michael and Maddie, get some sunshine out there this morning. You're going to see the clouds slowly go away, and by this afternoon, we're going to see mostly sunny skies, highs up near 80.
If you live in New Bedford, primarily the northern part of New Bedford, we're talking about the Sassaquin area. I don't really visit it too often, but I will tell you, if you're familiar with that area, you're going to agree with me on this. And now this is a very bold statement I'm going to say, but out of every single intersection or roadway here in New Bedford and even kind of surrounding areas on the South Coast, I think I finally found the worst and most stressful, hair-grabbing road.
The one by Cumberland Farms?
It's not by
like
Cumberland
Ma
Farms.
office?
No.
Or Pa, is it Ma or Pa way up there?
The one up there is Pa.
Yeah.
Ma's in the south end.
Okay.
So keep going north. Go to Sassaquin area, okay? And I believe that is it's kind of like, I'm trying to think of what road that was. It's right by the Pulaski School. That road right there. I want to say, is it Chase Road? Braley. That's the one. Braley Road, okay? It is an absolute disaster. Whoever designed that area, and I wrote down notes. I had that much time. I sat, and I'm like, nobody's moving. This is going to get gridlock. I'm getting stressed out for the highway behind me, 140 north, if you're trying to get off onto it. It just backs up every day. And I talked to some people in Sassaquin. They say, yep, this is normal in the morning time and in the evening time, afternoonish when the buses are out. It's a school problem, but it is the worst designed road ever. And I'll tell you why. First of all, you get the traffic from Acushnet coming in. That doesn't help anything because anything in Acushnet is slow moving. You got the New Bedford Industrial Park that has not one, not two, but multiple shift changes between the Mass Lottery, between National Grid. You got Titleist over there, Heads over there. You got the New Bedford Dump and Transfer Station, so you got all the dump trucks going in and out of there. You got the Peckham Road to 140 Exchange. That's a nightmare right there in itself. And then again, the Pulaski traffic in the morning and afternoon. When school is not in session, they said it's not as bad, but when it is, you got to leave 20 to 25 minutes earlier or you will definitely be late for something.
So how would you have designed this differently?
You're right. Sorry.
He doesn't have the answer, but he has all the complaints.
I have all the complaints, all the Karen notes right here.
To me, this is chump change. To me, this is nothing compared to Warwick, Rhode Island.
No, I'm just saying.
Warwick is...
Maddie's your life
is a garbage can on fire. All of it.
Stinky.
And then plus, your life is before the Washington Bridge and after the Washington Bridge.
Right, there's
example.
a very specific time frame in my life, before and after. Yeah, I love Rhode Island.
You cannot complain about traffic to Maddie.
I know.
I'm talking about in New Bedford. I clearly said in New Bedford.
I get that.
In New Bedford.
And what I'm telling you is, it's nothing.
Take a ride there today. And just compare. I'm sure I'm not downplaying Warwick or Rhode Island or Cranston or anything like that because I have been in that area, and yes, it is a cluster. But Pulaski School area, parents, I don't know how you do it. Local residents, I don't know how you do it. And there's no way around it. Well, you can go all the way around to Acushnet and then back out. But then once you get into Acushnet, then you're stuck on South Main and Maine. And we all know how that goes. Listen, I just got to let it off because I was going to a buddy's house yesterday and I pulled in, which was supposed to be a nice, relaxing afternoon on the pond kayaking. And I was all stressed out. I was mad. The road rage settled in. I haven't had that in a long time. And road rage isn't supposed to settle in parts of New Bedford. It's not even city-ish. It's just, heavy settled and poorly designed. I'm sorry. So my complaint goes out to the engineer.
Are you what they call triggered?
I am very triggered. I don't have kids, and I don't have kids that go to that school, but my heart goes out to them.
But you got some
morning.
big dad energy right now.
Oh my gosh. I just can't. I had to get that off my chest. If you live in that area, you feel me? And I beg to ask a question to name another area in New Bedford, just New Bedford alone, that compares to the Sassaquin area up there by Braley Road. Okay?
Easy.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Kings Highway.
Kings Highway is nothing compared to that. At least Kings Highway, you can move. This was gridlock, Michael. Yes, it's slow moving. It's slow moving. But when I say there was gridlock, and then people on their phones and not paying attention. Sorry to sound like grumpy Grandpa Gazelle over here, but I had to get that off my chest. Okay?
You okay?
I feel better.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Good. Sounds good.
8:26. Phil Devitt is having a better morning, and he's got the headlines for you.
New Bedford police have been cracking down on crime in the South End's County Street Bar District, making 15 arrests in just 2 days. Repeat offenders were among those arrested on charges related to drugs and other offenses. The operation comes in response to community concerns and follows a pattern of arrests and releases in the area. Police are calling for a change in the system to address these ongoing issues and provide relief to the affected businesses and residents. The New Bedford Foss Marine Terminal has officially opened its new deepwater berth, making it the latest facility in the city to support the growing offshore wind industry. Equipped with a specialized bulkhead and crane, the berth is ready to handle cargo from construction and support vessels. The New Bedford Light reports this development's part of the terminal's second phase, with additional construction coming in the next few years. Acushnet Police Chief Christopher Richmond retires today after nearly 30 years with the department. Sergeant Thomas Carreau will manage the department as the town seeks a replacement. If Fall River Mayor Paul Coogan has hit you up for cash on social media, he wants you to know that's not him. The mayor is taking to social media to warn people of a scam going around impersonating him. What you can do is report such scams and learn how to protect yourself at ftc.gov/imposters. The teen accused of the deadliest school shooting in Georgia history will make his first court appearance today. 14-year-old Colt Gray will appear in Superior Court this morning. He's accused of shooting over a dozen people at Appalachia High School, the town of Winder, on Wednesday morning, killing 4 and injuring 9. And Texas researchers say they've discovered an antibody that would protect against all variants of COVID-19. It could help neutralize all known strains of the virus and future strains. The next step is to get the antibody used in large-scale manufacturing for future treatments. In sports, Red Sox look to break their 5-game skid tonight as they face the Chicago White Sox at Fenway Park. First pitch at 7:10. Meanwhile, Patriots kicking off their regular season on Sunday with a matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals. That game starts at 1. Traffic and weather next. From the Blue Point Restaurant Newsroom, I'm Phil Devitt for Fun 107.
It's Michael and Maddie. Going to see some sun and clouds this morning and then more sun by this afternoon. Gazelle going off on
infrastructure.
He's going to go find whoever designed Brayley Road and just lay him out in lavender.
And the worst part is it's just a straightaway. It's nothing even crazy. There's no, roundabouts or anything like that. It's just a lot going on one small road. From residential to commercial, you name it.
Susie Billiette writes in on the Fun 107 app, thanks, Gazelle, for shedding light on the Pulaski drop-off and pick-up chaos. We have been petitioning for an egress in the back of the building for years with no success.
I've only really been on that road maybe a handful of times in my life, but I never got stuck in the traffic when school gets released. So I don't know if there's a way to lighten that load, if that will help, but I'm telling you, it caused me gray hairs in the beard that I don't need.
Good morning, Fun 107.
So I'm listening to you talk about Brayley Road, and I agree. But another area that is bad is where Hayden McFadden is, where County Street is, and then the other side.
You're under 195, the bridge that was over you.
Yep.
And you have kids that go to that school?
Yes, I do.
And what's your name?
Jen.
Thank you, Jen. Appreciate it.
Bye, Jen.
Bye.
Fun 107, good morning.
Nothing compares to the Keith and New Bedford High traffic in the morning.
Oh, my goodness, definitely. Because you've got both schools converging at once.
Exactly. And I have one who's a senior and one who's a 6th grader. And every morning, I'm telling you, it's a battle.
And what's your name?
Amy.
Amy, have you ever been up to Brayley Road, to that little intersection where Pulaski and the Industrial Park is?
Yes, and it still does not compare. I am confident. I'm telling you now, if you head around 7, even 7 a.m. around New Bedford High and Keith, you're screwed. You're in that traffic for maybe 45 minutes, and your kid's late.
And you're trapped. You can't get out.
Nope. You got people cutting you off. You have kids, rightfully so. They're crossing, but they're not even looking. So you got to really pay attention. it's definitely an eye-opener every morning.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much for your input.
Thank you.
And I would submit 2 more. What about 140, the end of 140, when it reaches Route 6 by Buttonwood Park? That backs up pretty significantly in the afternoon.
But it flows. It's not as bad as like the Florence Corner. I'm not trying to get out of New Bedford, but like if you're going to compare that to anything,
yeah.
You get the Florence Corner Road by the mall. That's its own category over there. But yeah, I would definitely list that as one of the most stressful intersections in this area. But I think it was because it's fresh in mind right now. I'm rarely up in the Sassaquin area. And I want to be, because they got the Sassaquin House of Pizza. They got great breakfast spots up there, the little Phoenix and whatnot.
The Chinese place.
Don't even get me started. But now it's turning me off. It's turning me away. It's making me go back home. I don't know. It's just so funny how just something so
Gazelle
small.
Fired up on a Friday.
Oh, fired up. And it's a Friday.
I'm not trying to calm him down. I'm like poking the bear. Fun 107, Michael and Maddie, and it is Friday morning. And it is here. It is back. The football season. Great watching some football last night, Chiefs and Ravens. And coming up on Sunday, Patriots have their first game. And let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Nick Coit from the ABC6 Sports Desk. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Michael. What's happening?
Well, I just, I talked a lot earlier this morning about how much I love this time of year. The weather's so good. It literally makes me a happier person when football is on TV. I get to eat, watch football. Like, life is good. Life is better during football season.
This is why I tell people that haven't lived in New England or that moved to New England or that look at me and say, how come you've never lived outside of New England? I say, well, it's because of this time of the year. The fall in New England, nothing beats it because, as you said, the weather is great, the nights are cooler, and football is here. And, I know this year with the Patriots, we'll see in terms of expectations and whatnot. But, hey, football's here. You can watch a lot of games now, and that's a great thing.
So let's talk about the Patriots game coming up on Sunday. What are we looking for here? Because we're going to be, as a Patriots fan, I think this year, we're going to have to find little things to watch out for and, talk about versus wins and losses. Because if we're just going to be talking about wins and losses, it's going to be a long, unhappy year. So I'm vowing to not be an unhappy Patriots fan because I think they're heading in the right direction, which I like. But, we're not expecting a win here on Sunday, I don't think. So what do we watch out for?
Well, we'll see. I think the first thing I'll say is, and this is what I say about this team this year, is by the end of the year, I think you want the arrow to be pointed up. By the end of the year, you want to look at this team and say, well, we like this, this is going well. We can see where the franchise is going. So I think that is the ultimate goal for this season and the franchise at the end of the year. That being said, this Sunday, let's see what can the offensive line put together a decent performance, a good performance where, okay, they are giving Jacoby Brissett time in the pocket to move around. Are we seeing some of the young receivers that, the Patriots have brought in? Have they made a leap forward? Are they starting to pop here? Literally with a guy like Pop Douglas. Are we seeing the defense play at the, consistent level that it played, even at the end with Bill Belichick? That defense still, was always good with Belichick. So those are the things you'll be looking for. And, this Sunday, yeah, it's a tough opponent, but Cincinnati hasn't exactly been great in openers with Joe Burrow. 1-3. 2 years ago, Burrow threw 4 picks in a game. Last year, they lost 24-3. So, we'll see. If you catch them off guard, and if you come out and you're prepared, then you never know. That's the beauty of the game. That's the beauty of the NFL.
What's difficult is that if you're a Patriots fan, one of the most exciting players in the team's not going to set foot in the field. Drake.
And you're thinking
Drake May.
Yeah, right, exactly. But I think the patient approach it's not a bad thing. I think, if you're a Patriots fan and you watched during the preseason and you saw Drake May pop the way that he did in the time that he was on the field, and you look at it and you say, all right, when he does get on the field, you feel good about it. You feel excited for the kid, and they're taking their time. They're trying to figure out things on the offense that would support and surround Drake May, and that's not a bad thing. And I think at some point we're going to see him. When, I don't know, you can't pinpoint it, but I think you'll see him at some point. And when you do, I think you can be excited as a Patriots fan. And I think the way that he's handled himself, the way that he's handled the quarterback situation, and the way that they're handling him, he's got a great attitude. He seems to be a really, a kid with a great head on his shoulders. And those are all great traits, if you're a fan that's really looking to root for somebody. I think you're seeing, some good things from Drake May so far.
Well, there's another rookie season that starts on Sunday, and that is the rookie season for the broadcaster, Tom Brady.
How did I know you were going to work Brady into this conversation? And you know what? I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. He's clearly been preparing and practicing like he would as a quarterback. It was funny. They showed that video on social media this week of it was him in like his home office, and he's got like his binders of every game plan that he's ever had and call sheets and all that, and like he refers to it and looks back at it. And I think with Tom, the knowledge that he has of the game and the experience, I think that will be his best thing to call to when he's calling these games. I saw this and I saw that, when I was in the game. And, I think that is something that will be entertaining for fans because this is the greatest of all time. So, if he says something, I think fans will be like, well, he's definitely got the clout. So, and I think he's a pretty positive person too. So it's not like he's going in there and he's going to torch somebody. He's going to put, some good spins on things. So, I'm looking forward to see how he does.
I'm really looking forward to learning from him because, obviously he's always had to keep his cards close to the vest because you're trying to win, right? So you're not going to share all your secrets. But like now he's getting paid to, let's hear it. So like, it's going to be really fun to get inside the brain of Tom Brady. And, I'm hoping that we're going to see a little bit of like what Tony Romo does, saying, watch out for this. This is going to happen, and then see that actually happen. I think that'll be fun.
You mean what Tony Romo did 5 years ago as opposed to what he does now, which is, I don't know, Jim. That's usually what Romo does now. So, I think you're right. Because he's not too far removed from the game, he'll be able to see things before they happen, and that's a really good trait if you're a broadcaster, and I think Fox will really appreciate it too.
Yeah, and I think the only challenge that he might have is dumbing it down for the rest of us because he's so on a different level. Hopefully he's able to really talk to us about it in a way that, a fifth grader can understand, because I think he has he could definitely let it get way too technical.
Absolutely. But I think what also supports him in that regard will be, Kevin Burkhardt is a really good broadcaster. I think he's got a really good team there he's the number 1A team has Aaron Andrews and Tom Rinaldi on it too, down on the sidelines. Like, he's got a really good team. So I think Burkhardt definitely will tee him up as much as possible to say, all right, Tom, explain this to somebody who doesn't really, know it or something like that. I think he's good like that. So it's when you come into a good team like that and a supporting cast, it's like being a quarterback with a good offensive line or good weapons around him, right? Like, you have to have the supporting cast.
Everybody's got their role.
That'll help them. Exactly. So that'll help.
All right, so that game's going to be at 4:15. Dallas Cowboys. I think it's against the Browns, right? Dallas and the Browns.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah, because Brady in that social media video talked about how that was his first game back in 2016. So it's ironic that he's going to be there broadcasting that game.
So who wins, Patriots or Bengals? What's your prediction?
I will say Bengals, but I think it'll be a little closer than we think. I don't think the Pats are going to get blown away. So I'll go I'll go like 20-10 Bengals. But I think the Pats will keep it close. I think the Bengals will have a little bit of their struggles coming out of the gate. They have recently, and Jamar Chase missed all of camp, so we'll see. I think ultimately the Pats fall, but I think hopefully we see some encouraging signs. Again, we're looking for the little things, like you said, this season with the Pats, so try to take comfort in those.
All right, Nick Coit from the ABC6 Sports Desk, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to every Friday morning here on Fun 107, our Patriots preview.
Sounds great. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Nick. Fun 107.